to stop the grader here in the paddock for a second. I've got a big audience. I got a ring of heifers all the way around me. Just trying to get a few tracks graded. It's supposed to be rain coming over the next week or so. So get a bit of this grading done while it's dry and easy to work with before the grass greens up. I've done all the main track, 4K's track the last couple of days. I'm just changing putting a new track in through the paddock here because the other one's sort of washed out. Put in a bit better spot hopefully. Well, this afternoon I'm just going to be doing a bit of work on the grader. We've had a bit of rain around, as you can probably see. It is a bit green around in the paddock. There's been a bit of rain up this end of the place, but not a lot up the other end. So we did have a fall of about 14.5 mil yesterday. So hopefully some grass will green up there. But now that it has rained a little bit, I've got to go around and push up a bit of dirt around the cattle troughs where they've been getting hollowed out in the dry weather. So it's got to give the grader a bit of a grease before I take it out, and we'll go and tidy up around a few troughs. So I'll put this on my head so you can see what I'm doing. Right, now this is a grease gun I'm using, the Makita electric 18 volt one. It's a great little grease gun, this one, but one thing you do have to be careful with, it puts out a lot of grease in a hurry. So I'll start on this side. Alright, oozing out a bit there. Just watching for where it's coming out the back there. Now, the back of the blade tilt. Should be enough there. These are very important ones. Bit of grease coming out. Righto. Don't need to put a lot in those ones because I never actually use the tilt. Coming out there. It's far quicker and easier than pumping it all by hand. Now, just riding with some otherwise like grease everywhere. That's another very important one. Got an airlock in it. Turn it to higher speed. There we go. Right, where was I up to? That's all done, the front. And there's this one here. There. Try and scoot around. Okay. Put it in them so they don't grease it too well and dry and jam up. This one's there, but a lot of pressure on all the time, so we're going to make sure it goes down properly. Right, almost done. So a few greases on the back. That's the articulation ones. And I think that's about it. I won't worry about the grip rippers. I did them the other week and I haven't really used them at all since. So, yeah, that's I think that's all the nipples, grease nipples done. I'll clean this up. Clean the end of the gun off. And wipe all the grease off my hands. It's a filthy job when you get nipples that don't seal properly. Some of them probably need to be replaced soon. Muggy day. There was a storm went past before. It was built up out there, but it just went past and missed us. Went to south of us to follow the creek down and missed us. So anyway, pretty muggy. Now before we start this thing up, check the oil and the water. Oil's right. No oil leaks or anything visible there. See, this is where an O-light's torches come in handy. See, where's the full mark? It's just above the full mark, so there's plenty there. Hydraulic oil's right. Nothing in there obstructing the fan. Belts are all still good. It's full of fuel. I fueled it up when he finished the other day. It's always a good idea to fuel up a machine when you're finished operating when it's hot, so you don't get condensation and water in the tank. So, right. That side, it all looks good. Righto, we'll get her in and start her up and let her start warming up. Okay, so we got, this is our tree here, got a pedal on the floor that brings all the controls and everything within arm's reach. So you got your forward and reverse lever here, which is like a power shift. So we'll get it started up. Well, we won't. Keys here, and I'll let it glow for about 20 seconds. 20. No, alarms are all gone off. Started well. Oh, I'm sweating with the aircon on. Yeah. Shut the door. So now, this is all your tree. So you got your steering wheel here. These are your two levers here that operate your blade up and down. You got this one here. That turns your circle, rotates your blade, and this one here makes your blade, puts it from side to side, and then This one here, that rolls your blade forward and backwards. That's your rippers up and down. This one here moves your circle from side to side, gives you a little bit more reach and puts your blade where you need to sometimes. This one here is your articulation lever. So you got this little dial here that tells you when it's going straight. It's not exactly accurate, but pretty close. And this one here is to lean your front wheels over. So if you're grading, usually you try and lean your wheels the same way the dirt's flowing that way, because the blade's trying to pull the front of the grader that way, and it just helps bite the front in. So we'll let it warm up for a few minutes, and then we'll go down the track and go and start working on a few troughs. Okay, so now we've got, let's let it warmed up for a few minutes. Let's rotate the blade out the way. You have to be mindful you don't hit your blade into your wheels or into your steps. Just be always mindful of where the corners of the blade are. You don't want to ram your front wheels with that corner of the blade either. So, righto. Now we got, put your foot on. You got your clutch pedal and your brake and your foot throttle, and then there's your hand throttle. So put your foot on the brake, or the clutch, we'll put it up into, say, third gear, and then you let your clutch out. You don't have to use your clutch for changing gears, because it's all power shift. So go up to fourth gear, and away we go. If you lean your wheels right over, it turns the circle a bit tighter as well if you don't want to articulate the vehicle. What I'm going to do here is this track up through the paddock here. While I'm going, I'm just going to try and bring, last time I put a bit of a reel to that side. The water's been running down the wheel marks, it's starting to run down the wheel marks now, so what I'm going to do is just try and take that reel back over, put a bit of dirt in the wheel marks, and if the water runs down, hopefully it'll run sort of off the track a bit. And so I'll set my blade around this way. I'll just roll it forward just a bit. Now you sort of have to work both levers and watch the corners of your blade. And now I'll just put it into first gear and just let the clutch out. And now see how it's just touching down there, and it's off the ground a bit here. So I want to just go down there, but I'll bring the blade horizontally, so pull this lever here and I'll move the grader over. See how it's biting a little bit too deep there. Never give them hard jerky movements, always just do little bits. I can feel this trying to pull the grader over a bit, so I'll lean the wheels over just a little bit. Lift the blade just up just that little bit. Try and get that reel. Lift this end up a little bit too so it spills out. You don't leave a big reel out this side of the blade. So once you get it set right, the key is to go slow, and especially starting off. And once you sort of get going and you got your blade set right, then you can bring it up to second. See behind me, it should be leaving a reasonably smooth sort of track. It's good to have the steering wheel right in your lap, so you can sort of be leaning forward. It's not obscuring your view. Just want to take that reel off and spill it across the track. don't want to be biting in too deep, otherwise you end up with another drain where the water's going to run. And also there's a pipeline that goes under here somewhere too, so to be mindful of what's underground, what's buried, you don't want to hit. Anyway, we'll get this graded. You don't want to sit here and watch the whole show. Get this graded, and our trough's just over the hill up here, so I'll see you when I get up a bit closer. What I'm doing here is I've got a bit of going to form up this bit of a woo buoy here, which is a mound of dirt on the track that slows the water down. If you're on a bit of a slope, the water's going to want to try and race down the track, and it ends up washing the wheel ruts out deeper and deeper. So we put a bit of we call it a woo buoy. It's a bank of dirt to try and steady the water up, and at the same time I'll cut a drain, so instead of it going down the track, it shoots it down the drain. But at the moment the water's been coming out, instead of going down the drain, just sort of going over the woo buoy and just keeping going. It's not draining off the track. So I'm just going to put these drains in here. So now I've got the blade, so I'll sink this corner of the blade in and try and make it spill out this other side, try and make the water go out here. And I'll take this dirt and dump it on the track. Lean my wheels over a bit. So lift the blade up as you go and let it spill out where you want it. Might just do another cut. Clutch, the second gear, now I'll turn around this dirt that I've left on the track here. I'll take back and I'll put it into the woo buoy there. Turn your blade around so fairly flat, so you can use it like just a dozer. You learn to use a few different levers at once you get the hang of it, and you sort of don't have to think so much about which lever you got to pull. So now I'll start lifting the blade, so it creates a mound of dirt. Once you sort of get up a certain height, you let the dozer, because the back wheels will be coming up, which will be lifting it up too. If you lift it too high, you end up with a too sharp a woo buoy. When you drive over it's quite a bit too steep. So it's not too bad there. I'll sink this corner of the blade in a bit more. Try and get the water to drain that way a bit. So I'll angle the blade to pull a bit of the dirt from that side back over this other way. lifting. I might drag a little bit back. I didn't lift quite soon enough. So just do the same thing in reverse. Angle the blade here and clean that drain out. Go back just a little bit more. Blade down. Pull it into first. This in second, but and now as you go along, lift the blade up so you don't take it all out. Yeah. Boy. And that's boy sort of made. So hopefully now the water will drain off the side and go down there instead of going up over that hill. It's the concept anyway. I reckon it should work fairly good. Another one up here I might do the same thing. Get a few of these in where it starts to come over the hill. You save your track a lot. You have a lot less erosion down the track. Okay, so now we're in up here to the trough. I've fixed up a few of these wee boys up here up the track here behind me, and so now we have to bear in mind we've got the pipeline that comes down the hill there straight here to this trough. So I'm going to try and stick the blade in down here, back here further. So then by the time I get to the trough, I'll have a blade full and I can start spilling it out the side. And it should start creating a bit of a drain as well. Lifted it up. Now while I stop here, I'll turn it around, and now I'm going to put the blade down again, and I'm going to try and back blade it again. Lift it up a bit. Get it into the trough a bit. Now I'll do one more pass and try and get it right up to the edge of the trough. And then I'll turn around and do the other side. So I'll put it on a bit more of an angle to get the dirt moving a little bit faster. Sink that corner in. Just go pretty steady here. So you don't hit the trough or do something you shouldn't do. Now what I might do is lift up, and I will do one more. I'll drag it back one more time. The blade's on the right angle, and I'll just leave it at that, and I'll drag it, stick it out this side a bit more. Come back away from the pipeline a bit. And I'll start sinking the blade in. It's about here somewhere. Lift up there, spill it into the hole. Start backblading. More of an angle to get it to travel a bit quicker. Do another pass this way. I'll just do one more pass. Back blade, I mean. And just to tidy it up. Let's get it into first gear. Go. Now what I might do is just try to go over this reel here and just try and take it into towards the back of the trough a bit. Careful not to sink it in and go through the pipeline. Stick it out the side there. That reel off there. That's pretty much done. Probably could do, maybe just do one more pass on this side and get it heaped up the side of the trough just a little bit more. As the cattle tramp it down a bit, it'll sort of come down level with the trough. So we're trying to heap it up just a little bit, so it's a bit longer than before. I've got to come and do the job again, because as the cattle are drinking around the trough all the time, they're always making it erode. go. I used to get down there tobacco and push around them all, but that does a far neater job and it's a bit quicker and you can see what you're doing a lot easier, so you're not as likely to accidentally hit the trough. Righto. Leave all this. And we got another trough over that way to do, so we'll go over there and do that now. And there we go. That'll do it. That's the one, another trough done. So it doesn't take long to do. It's just when you get sidetracked, fixing up a few other tracks on the way to troughs. Anyway, what's the time? 5:30. So I'll start heading home. I might go and do maybe one more trough in the next paddock. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Right, I'll just go and chuck a few of these rocks off. It's no good for the cattle's feet to be stepping on these big rocks. Righto. It's pretty good there. Now my little float cover protector thing, or trough protector thing I made up's not doing too bad a job. I just make up these. We had just the float protectors on, but we've had a number of particularly sort of like younger cattle, so like weaners and a bit bigger. They come in and drink and they all mob the trough, and a couple of them must get a head up under their backside and the others push them in. They get in the trough and they slip over and they actually can't get out. We had one heifer I found the other week. She had got in there before we could find her. She had died and she was actually gone rotten in the trough, and it was a filthy mess to try and get it out. But yeah, so I made these up just so there's a bit of a bar. Oh, there's a bit soft there. If they do push each other on there, they can't get in there, but they can still get their head underneath to have a drink. So hopefully it'll work and we won't lose any more cattle dying in a trough. So it'll be a horrible way to go. Anyway, isn't that beautiful? Nice and green. Beautiful to see after how terrible it has been. And to see cattle be able to just walk around and get a feed again. Anyway, we'll go and put this away, I reckon. Knock off for the day. Might have to do a bit more tomorrow before it dries out too much. This bit of a fence line, Makes it easier if you're driving up and down the lane here. Don't want to cut it too deep. It's only where there's a bit of a hills, and just want to take the hills off and put them in the hollers and just have a little bit of dirt rolling along in front just to so you get a nice level even track. Now we're almost to the gate here, so we'll just start lifting the blade up slowly to get rid of our rill, and it gives it a nice finish. Right. Right. But as I was saying earlier, always, if you can, always try and refuel the machine before you put it away in the evenings, so as the night gets cooler. Not that tonight will be real cool. Just pull up here to the fuel tanks. It's time to put it back in the shed. Idle back enough, and I'll switch her off. Righto, everything's off. I'll get out and go home for the day. Well, that's it for today. Another day done. So, just thought I'd share with you a bit more of what I do here on the farm. Yes, there's a lot of work when it's dry, but then when it rains there's a lot of work too. But just look at that beautiful sunset out there. It's beautiful to see beautiful skies like that in the afternoons. So many people, they don't get to be able to see things like that. Locked up in cities, too many buildings in the way, or they lock themselves inside. It's great to just be able to get outside and be able to live out here in the open spaces. You get fresh air to breathe, and just beautiful. The camera's not even doing it justice. Anyway, that's how I do a bit of grading and tidying up a few tracks and pushing around some troughs and getting some drainage working properly. Again, because every so often you got to do it. They never last forever. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this and a bit of shooting and reviews and whatever else I get up to, subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to support the work I do, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go and buy some stickers, and I will be getting some hats in a few months' time, so once they get finished being made, so keep an ear out for when I start making them available for you to purchase as well. So anyway, I'll leave you all, and I'll see you all in the next video.